Hello, happy Sunday. How you doing, fam? Good to see you all here today. How's your last couple of weeks been? Welcome, 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 welcome. Fun. I've missed you guys. Really did. Really did. Let me know where you're joining from today. Tell me where you're at. Are you somebody from the Astro community? Are you someone from Sub 2, TTP, Jerry's community? Just somebody from my YouTube? What part of the country are you in? Say hello. Hello. I am just coming back from a 3-week, I guess, journey at Burning Man, which was insane. And I'm going to dive into that today and tell you all about what I learned over these 3 weeks. So if you've ever thought, man, I want to go to Burning Man, then today you'll learn what I learned and see if it is all what it's chopped up to be or if it's something for you. All right, we got folks joining us. Lots of people from the Astro community. Hi. Love you guys. People from North Carolina, Indiana, Northern California. What's up? San Antonio. Hey, Tracy. OC, Portland. Amazing. The Bay Area and back down. What's up, Miguel? Astro, Houston. What's up, Matthew Ennis? Jabroni. Great to have you guys with me here today. All right. Well, we'll start this the way that I would any of these other Sundays, and that's with a prayer, because I truly believe anything and everything that we want or need in our life will find its way to us through our source when we ask and take steps towards it. Now, again, if this bothers you for any reason, just mute me for 30 seconds because I'm going to do this anyways. But if you'd like to join me, here we go. God, we love you so much, Lord. Thank you for today. Thank you for opening all our eyes and giving us breath, for giving us the minds to connect and communicate with each other, Lord. We are so grateful for that. God, we ask that you guide each of us to your purpose for our lives, so that the steps we take are your steps, the words we speak, your words, the actions we take, your actions. God, we ask that you guide us to those individuals that'll be of benefit to us, either through a financial gain or a lesson that we need to learn. And we also ask that you deflect us from those individuals that could waste our time or bring us harm. Lord, for any of us here that are in need of any additional understanding of the concepts that we're here to learn, we just pray for perfect clarity in our minds. And for anyone suffering through any physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual pain, we just pray for perfect healing in our lives. And Lord, it is with humble hearts, and in your heavenly name we pray. Amen. All right, let's get to it. The 10 things I learned at Burning Man. All right, so first, let me just kind of set the stage for you, right, on what this looked like for me. So, I'm not like big fan of EDM music. That's electronic dance music. I don't really listen to it. You guys probably can tell I'm a 90s hip hop guy. When I'm listening to music, it's like R&B, 90s hip hop. That's about where I kind of am. I'm just like, that's it. That's my jam. And so electronic music, nothing against it. It's just not really what I do. So I'm not going to Burning Man so that I can go and be at a 7-day, 24-hour-a-day rave. Like, that's just not my jam. Okay. So aside from that, my reason for wanting to go to Burning Man is interesting. I had originally, a friend of mine was going. She's somebody that I do work with, and on personal development. And so I thought, cool, this could be neat. I love spending time with this healer that I work with. So I thought that could be a fun opportunity to be around somebody that I know is inspirational to me and can really open my eyes to new perspectives. So that was super cool. Also, what an adventure. How much fun is this going to be? Right. And I didn't quite realize what I was signing up for until I was actually thrust in it. So I'm on a 3-week journey, essentially, a week to set up and arrive at Burning Man to build the camp, a week offline where I won't have access to internet or a cell phone signal, and then break down the camp and then find my way back to Phoenix. So all of this takes like 3 weeks. Now, I've not taken a 3-week vacation since my hair on my face was black. Okay, so I haven't done anything like this in forever, right? Like I just haven't taken holidays. It's not been something that has been a priority for me to do, which isn't great. This is that I'm not saying that to anyone here to like shame you into not taking vacations. The opposite, actually. I was at risk of burning out many times, and I probably would have had deeper connections with my family if I had taken more vacations. And so please don't take that example as something that you should be emulating or doing in your life. Take more holidays, do more fun things. I highly recommend you seize the day and enjoy yourself, because if you don't have the muscle to take a holiday, to take a break, then it's going to be really effing uncomfortable when you actually do. And so that was one of the most incredibly difficult things for me to come to terms with, was the disconnection, right? Being disconnected from work, being disconnected from family, being disconnected from friends, not being easily accessible to people, people within the community, people in my household, people at work. Like I'm always on. And so that was a difficult thing for me to really come to terms with, because I'm used to the chemistry that my body produces to be stressed out when I see the things that I need to do. And then the dopamine that my body releases when I accomplish the things that are presented to me. And so I have definitely trained my body, trained myself to rely on that trigger response mechanism to feed me the chemicals it needs in order to survive. And I really, really came to terms with this for myself when I didn't have a cell phone signal and I couldn't respond and I couldn't email and I couldn't do the things that I would want to do. And I was in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So right out the gate, before I even get into the 10 things that I learned, I'm going to say that if you are like me and you haven't been taking holidays in your life, you haven't been doing things for yourself and your family, do them. Right? Go take those holidays. Do the things with your family. It's so important to train yourself to be expectant of a break. Expect breaks. Take effing breaks. Stop listening to these jokers out there who are telling you that you're not supposed to enjoy yourself, that you got to work 7 days a week and you got to work your days and you got to work your nights and you got to work your, inside and outside. Like, you know what? Sure, if your only goal in life is your measuring stick, right? Which is how much money did I make? And I can promise you that as a measuring stick is not a fulfilling thing. I've made tens of millions of dollars and generated hundreds of millions of dollars in my businesses, and it doesn't fulfill you. It doesn't. Take it from a man who has had all of his dreams come true, from the influence that I've wanted, television show, millions of dollars in the bank, all of the things, on paper, it all looked great. Husband, dad, nothing was fulfilling. Like none of that did it. None of that did it. So money is not the thing. But there are 10 specifics I want to share with you on what I learned at Burning Man so that you guys can make a decision on whether or not this is for you. Number one, radical self-reliance. Right. And this is one of the precepts of attending Burning Man, is that it is you. It's all you, baby. And it's always been you. It's been you all along. And if you can't survive on just you, if you can't entertain just you, if you can't love on just you, then Burning Man's probably not for you. Okay? Because you got to be able to take care of you. You have to make sure that you've got the things you need. You have to make sure that you are arranging yourself and creating an environment for yourself that you'll be able to survive in for an extended period of time. And there is nobody there that's going to save you. No one is going to say, hey, you look uncomfortable and sweaty, or hey, you look like you could use some water, or you look like you could use a shower, or any of these things that I just said. No one is going to save you. You have to do this all on your own. And these tiny little luxuries that we take for granted every day, right? These are things that when you're at a thing like Burning Man, these are like incredibly hard to do. Like, for instance, going to the bathroom at Burning Man, you literally, if you were in the middle of an event, like when we went to go watch the man burn at the end of the week. Now, I had to use the restroom, right? Like right before they're about to light this dude on fire, I got to go pee. I'm that guy, right? I'm like, I got to go pee. So everybody kind of looks at me like, are you freaking serious? This guy's got to go pee. And then another person's like, I got to pee too. And then another lady said, I got to pee too. So there's three of us that had to go pee. So it wasn't just me then. Going to the bathroom was a 2-mile endeavor. Okay, it's not just like, oh, there's the restrooms right over there. No, you got to go and you got to go on a trek for miles and miles into dust to just go to the restroom, right? So these tiny little luxuries, like a bathroom around the corner or water right over here, it doesn't exist when you are in the middle of the playa. You don't have it. So you really learn to be self-reliant. You really learn how to remind yourself, oh, hey, dude, you should go to the restroom before you go off onto this journey here, because you will need to walk 2 miles if you don't, right? So it's all you. And the reality is that you truly have anything and everything you need to save you in this life. You have everything and anything that you need to accomplish your highest mission, your greatest life's purpose within you right now. And nobody out there is going to be the person that is going to save you. And that was there's no bushes, by the way, Diana. There's no bushes in the playa. It is open space. And you ain't just whipping your thing out and using the restroom in the middle of the playa there. They'll beat you up. You got to go find the porta potties. That's what it is. All right. Number one, right? You got it. Number two, hard situations will show you who you are, who you really, really are. A hard situation is going to show you who you really are, because when it's really hard is when it matters the most. And from the moment you endeavor going to something like Burning Man, it is effing hard. It is not easy. None of it is easy, right? Just getting there, getting to Burning Man, you gotta, if you have the luxury of having an RV like I did, getting that thing prepared to get into the playa is difficult in itself. The dust in the playa is so fine that it will find its way through the seams of a window. It'll find its way through the seams of a car. And so you can't just take a vehicle onto the playa and not have taped it up. Like, you got to take painter's tape and you got to mask every single window, every seam, everything on that RV. Otherwise, you'll be swimming in dust when you wake up in the morning. You'll be covered in dust in your RV. So in order to avoid that, you've got to tape up the entire vehicle. Now, when you get there, You don't just get there. There is a 7, 8, 9, 10, even an 11, 12-hour wait just to get into the playa, just to get into where you're going to be camping. It's going to be a 7 to 11-hour wait. So fun, right? That's something that's going to happen and you're going to have to go through. And if you are impatient, or if you're used to luxuries like not waiting in line. So for instance, I'm grateful that my life has been such over the last 5 years that I've reached a point where I don't wait in lines a lot any longer. I don't. I pay for access. I don't have to wait in line at the airport. I have, business class, so I just, cut the line. I don't wait lines and boarding at airplanes. I board first. I've paid my way to the front of the line in so many parts of my life. And at Burning Man, nobody gave a rat's ass who I am or what I've done or what I do. I'm waiting with everybody else, right? You're going to wait and you're going to enjoy it, or you're not going to complain because nobody gives a crap. So these hard moments, these hard situations, they really show you what you're made of, right? Because as I'm sitting there and, I go through the lineup to get in, and we find our spot where we're going to be camping. And now the hard work comes in. Like, getting there was really difficult, but I didn't realize that was going to be the easy part. I didn't realize that just the wait getting in and prepping the RV and all that time and all that energy and all that work just to get there, I thought that was hard work. No, because once I got there, it was like, okay, time to build the camp. Now, again, I'm not a manual labor guy, right? I don't mow my own lawn, right? I have people that come in and do the landscaping for me at my home. I have a house manager who comes to my home 5 days a week and makes sure that my house is as clean as a hotel, because I enjoy the smell of bleach. I like my house smelling so clean, it's like a hospital. It's just how I am, okay? Now, that's what I have in my normal life. I didn't get that there, right? That didn't exist for me there. So I was not in a spotless environment. It was dusty and dirty all the time, all of the time. And when I was faced with these people who have no idea that I'm not very handy, and they start looking at me with expectation of, all right, well, this structure needs to be built now. You look like an able-bodied man. Your turn to do it. Right? And there's no IKEA instructions. There's no Allen key. There's nothing. There's just you looking at things and then making a decision on what fits with what. And so here I was having to participate and build a camp when, I haven't turned on a lawnmower in 25 years. So that was very humbling for me. I did my best. I showed up. And what's really funny about my character, and I'm just going to be super vulnerable and honest with you guys, in the last 10 years, right, when things have required physical labor and I've been there, I have usually found a way to disappear when that time comes. All right. It's a running joke with my friends and my family that as soon as it's time to start moving things, or, like labor is involved, Jamil's gone, right? He's on the phone. He's handling some important business. He's going to find a way to get away from the situation. And that's just how I've been, right? I always have found a way to extract myself from these types of situations so that I'm not the guy who's got to be like, hammering things in or sawing stuff or whatever it is, right? I'm not the guy you call when you want to move. I don't like you that much. In fact, if we're really friends, you wouldn't even ask me to come and help you move. I wouldn't ask you. That's just how I feel. Okay, so here we are in this spot, and I have to do this work. Like I've got to actually, step up and show up. And I truly had to come face to face with all of the BS that I've been giving to people all these years. Right? That I every time I disappeared when it was time to do that kind of work. It showed up for me. And I realized that this was my duty. This is what I had to actually endure so that I could show myself that I can show up for these kinds of things and I can do a good job. I can do my best, and that I will be a team player for the collective, right? Because it's the collective that's important at something like Burning Man, not the individual. And so I had to come face to face with myself, and I had to come face to face with all of the BS that I would typically bring to the table in those kinds of environments. And I had to do my job. I had to do my part. So, take this in terms of your entrepreneurial journey, right? When have you been faced with something hard to do and not shown up? Found a way to strategically disappear when the hard work comes, right? Now, for me, thank goodness, when it came to making money, when it came to entrepreneurship, I didn't have that problem. I actually can show up for myself when it comes time to do hard things for entrepreneurship. I'm wired that way. I can do it. But the physical things I've had a hard time with. But there's a parallel in all of this, right? So think about it. Think about how in your life, in situations or circumstances, when has it gotten hard? And what do you do when things get really hard? Right? What do you allow your mind? What indulgence do you give your mind's chatter? Because the mind was telling me 100 things, right? It gives you all of these excuses that I could use. I could tell all these people, I just had this spinal injury not too long ago. The things that you guys are asking me to do could put me in jeopardy, and I might break my neck again. And this could be a really bad thing. And I should probably just sit this out. And maybe there's something less hard for me to take care of. Like I could have come up with every excuse at that time and sounded plausibly believable. Now, maybe people would have been like, this guy's just a piece of crap. He doesn't want to do the work. Or maybe they would have looked at me and said, yeah, I buy it. He looks like somebody who just broke their neck. Whatever it is, I could have used the excuse, right? But I never did. I actually just shut up and did it. So I'm putting this out for you so that you guys can see the things that I was thinking about as this was going on. My mind didn't want to shut up. It wanted me to give up. It gave me so many good excuses that I could have used that would have been believable, that people would have said, okay, yeah, let this guy off the hook, man. But I didn't indulge myself in that. So parallel it to your life. When your mind starts chattering, when things get hard, what do? Right? Do you run towards it? Do you continue on? Do you carry on? Do you do the hard thing, or do you run the other direction? All right. Number 3, third thing that I learned. Not everything that you see is what it seems on the surface. Right? Like there is so much more behind the scenes. There is so much going on behind the curtain. And that's in so many things in life. That's so much that has to do with like the biggest things like politics and religion. If you look behind the curtain in a lot of these institutions, it's not what you think. It is not what you think. What we see and what we're given and what we're told is one story. And then when you look behind the curtain, you see what it really is sometimes. And it is not what you think it is. Now, what I really enjoyed about Burning Man is how unique and expressive people can be, and how really in society we're not given that luxury to be ourselves. Because when you come into mainstream society, when you leave Reno and you get to where Burning Man is, you get to where the playa is, and then you see how people show up. they show up in all of their uniqueness. They show up in all of their beauty. Now, you guys have seen this on Instagram. You've seen the costumes. You've seen people show up like Mad Max. They wear whatever. Now, guys, look, please keep your political opinion on this and your whatever your thoughts are about this. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to share with you guys a visual. All right. When this happened, when I saw this go by me, I was in complete amazement. All right. So I'm on the playa and a man rides by me on a bicycle, buck ass naked, but not just only buck naked. He is, all of his hair has been dyed like every color. All right. Like every single color. And he's riding a bicycle that has a soundtrack on it. And the soundtrack is like carnival sounds. And then there's a bubble machine on the back of his bicycle that was just shooting out bubbles. Now, again, look, that ain't for me, right? I'm not going to do that. That's not how I rock it. But the fact that somebody felt comfortable to just let that out, to be themselves in that uniqueness, was eye-opening for me, because we are so ready to throw anybody who's different out in regular society. We're just ready to throw them away. And that is a shame, because there are unique people, there are beautiful people out there that have so much to share with us, but we just don't allow ourselves the freedom to let that be. And another example of it was, I seen a person who was in a deep sea diving kind of outfit, and they were just walking around as if they were underwater above ground. And that's how they spent, like, I literally watched this person for 3 hours walking around as if they were underwater, but there they were, just there, right? In all of their uniqueness. And I thought, wow, I mean, this person, nobody knows who they are, right? They were in a mask, like a deep sea diver, right? And this person just feels like they might be traversing life as if they were underwater. And maybe that was a metaphor for how they feel in the real world. I don't know. But what I can say is, it was an interesting visual. And for the fact that somebody felt comfortable to come out and to just express that, again, I thought that was very beautiful. Another thing is so many people have this idea that Burning Man is this 24-hour drug-fueled rave, which it is absolutely not. Can you go to Burning Man and do drugs? Absolutely. Can you go to Burning Man and find electronic dance music and dance like you're at a rave? Yes. Can you go to Burning Man and find people who are engaging in all kinds of sex stuff? Absolutely. Can you go to Burning Man and find meditation circles? Absolutely. Can you go to Burning Man and find breathwork circles? Absolutely. Can you go to Burning Man and find Reiki healers? Absolutely. Can you go to Burning Man and find people who are just willing and loving and wanting to connect with you for no agenda or no reason? Yes. You literally can find anything and everything you want in a situation like that. Now, what you're looking for is what you're going to get. Truly. So if you're looking for that, it's there. But if you're looking for some peace, if you're looking for advice, if you're looking for a community of people that might be like-minded because they do things like you, like they meditate, or they are involved in self-actualization, or they are thinking about their purpose in life and why they're here, you can find people like that in a situation like that. And I found that just incredibly beautiful. most important thing that I want you to take from that note is that all of us have a uniqueness to us. We are all an aspect of the divine. And we've been lied to. We've been told by society, by our teachers, by our religious institutions that we are separate from our creator and that we need somebody between us and our creator in order for us to have access to that divine energy or that divine source. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. That is not true. You are an aspect of the divine expressing itself in this beautiful existence, and that is what is trying to get out. That is what's in you right now, trying to find expression. And anything that tells you otherwise is a lie. Anything that tells you otherwise is a lie. If your mentors spend more time telling you how great they are than telling you how great you are, find new mentors. Let me say that again. If your mentors spend more time telling you how great they are versus telling you and showing you how great you are, find new mentors. Let that one sink in. Number 4, not everything in life needs a payoff. Not everything you do requires a form of gain. You're not going to gain from everything. I saw people giving for the sake of giving. Artists who spent 10,000, 100,000, and I'm sure that there were installations and art cars there that cost into the millions that were created for no fame, for no fortune, for no accolades, but for the sheer enjoyment of them. Think of that. Somebody spent, I don't know, it could have been $1 million creating this beautiful dragon that moved around the playa and played music and gave people a dance floor to dance on. And nobody knows who created it. Nobody knows who owns it. There's no famous person behind it. Nobody was getting their back patted for it. And nobody was being told they were special because of it. It was just there. It was just there for the enjoyment of everybody who was in attendance. When's the last time that you were involved in something that somebody did just for the sake of doing it? Just for the sake of doing it. Like, again, this isn't about me, but these Sunday mindset live streams that I do, I don't get paid for this, right? This isn't a thing that I'm getting a return on in that regard. I do it for the sake of doing it. I just do it because I love you guys. I love me. I love this work. And so I just do it for the sake of it. But find something in your life that you do for the sake of doing. Just for the sake of doing it. That doesn't need to have a return on investment. We're so attached to the return. It's so transactional. Everything is so transactional out there. And the moment that we can abandon that need for gain because of doing something, right? Like, why not just make that phone call to that person or that friend that isn't going to get you anything? Why not help somebody when nobody's watching? Why not do it for the sake of doing it? Right? How many times do we just walk by? How many times do we think, oh, could be cool, or that would be a neat thing to do, and then not do it? But I saw people who must have spent an entire year and a fortune in money to just create for the sake of creation. And then you know what they do at the end of it? They burned it. They burned it. Again, no accolade, no fame, no one patting them on the back. Nobody knows their name. They just made it for the sake of people's enjoyment. And then when it was over, they set it ablaze. Incredible. Number 5, check your motives on why you do what you're doing. Check your motives. Because I had to check mine, right? I really had to go in and unpack and uncover why I was there. Like, why am I at Burning Man right now? Why am I really here? Why am I really here? What am I doing? Am I trying to impress somebody? I think maybe there was a part of me that was trying to impress someone, right? Maybe I was trying to impress myself. Maybe I was trying to impress you guys. I don't know. But I do think that I didn't have a clear understanding of my intentions and my motive for going prior to going. I believe I tricked myself into going to Burning Man because when I was there, I realized that, oh my God, like I don't think I have a clear understanding of why I'm here. Like, I don't know why I'm here. If I'm not here to tell people about it, if I'm not here to show things, if I'm not here to, put these Instagram pictures up and show people my outfit and if I'm not doing this, then what am I doing? Oh, okay. It's not about others. This is about me. Well, why did I come here? Well, because I thought, I was going to learn from this person and I was going to be able to have this experience and I was going to be able to see that thing. But what if that doesn't exist? Then why are you really here? Well, I don't know. Good. That's closer to the truth. So uncovering your intentions for what you're doing is really important because your intention is tied to what you're going to get back out of it. Because you can lie as much as you want about why you're doing something. And all of you know, because I've done it myself, all of us can think about, and all of us can remember a thing that we've done where we've expressed to the world and we've told everybody we're doing this because of this altruistic intention of ours. Meanwhile, underneath it, we're really trying to gain some favor. We're really trying to look good. We're really trying to have people like us. We really want to be this. We really want to be seen as that. We have these real underlying intentions of what we're doing, but we're not being honest with ourselves about what that is, and we're not being honest with others. And then the fact is that the energy can't lie. Your intention can't lie. And so it's only going to draw to it a response that is in equivalence to its energy. So know why you're doing what you're doing. Look, how many times have I seen and met people, they'll come to me at an event and I'll say, well, why are you doing this? Why are you wanting to be a wholesaler? Why do you want to be a real estate investor? What's the purpose? What's the thing? And then I see the waterworks come out. My family is for my family. It's I want it for my family. Okay, cool. But then you ask a few more questions and you peel back another layer, and it's really not about the family. It's about you. It's about you wanting to have some purpose. It's about you wanting to see what you can accomplish. It's about you wanting a better life. Now, are other people around you going to get benefit from it? Yes. Will your family and the people that you love get benefits from your growth and from you doing this thing and actualizing yourself as a human? Yes. All right. Will that mean that you'll be able to maybe take your spouse on better holidays and maybe retire your parents? Yes. But what are you really doing here? Oh, I'm here for me. Well, thanks for being honest. Now we can get to work. See, that's the thing. So many of us are out there lying our asses off, about why we're doing what we're doing and who we're trying to help and why we're trying to help them. My DMs are full of so many lies from people that just won't be honest about what the F they want out of life. They won't. And I'm not saying this to be mean because I've done it too. Look, I'm pointing the finger at myself. And I'm only giving you guys what I uncovered about myself on this. So this isn't an attack. This is a report. And I'm glad I see the numbers falling on the stream right now because I'm offending people, which is beautiful. Be offended. Be offended. It should offend you. If you can't get real about your intentions for doing the things that you're doing in life, be offended. You're not ready. I'm not ready to know you, and you're not ready to know me. So carry on. Number 6. If you don't feel it, you won't heal it. If you don't feel it, you won't heal it. Now, there's a story that comes with this one because I'm dealing with, and I have been dealing with some pretty intense emotional changes and changes in my life over the last year. Many of you who are close to me or in the Astro community or follow me on social media or wherever it is, if you've been in my coaching calls, you'll know what some of these things are. And I found a lot of distraction over the last year from being in the role that I'm in, from being in the position I'm in and being helpful to be able to help people with real estate, to be able to do this work. It was a major blessing for me because it distracted me from some of the pain that I was going through. And what I had to do at Burning Man was feel it. And I didn't realize that it was going to hit me like a ton of bricks while I was out there, but I did. And it did. And I actually think that for the first time in an entire year, I grieved. Really, like truly grieved. And I couldn't distract myself on my phone. I couldn't scroll. I couldn't find, videos to watch or music to listen to or anything that was going to take me out of that moment. I just had to feel the pain. I just had to go through it, and I had to cry. And so I did. And I let myself cry. I let myself feel it for an entire week. And it was beautiful, and it was terrible, and it was painful. And it made me isolate myself. And, so many people out in Burning Man are communicating with each other and creating community and doing all this incredible stuff with each other. And that was great, but that wasn't my experience this time. I was literally grieving. I was like a person in grief, and I isolated myself, but I allowed myself to feel, to really feel. And it was tough. It was really, really, really tough. But I went through it, and I came out the other side of it. And I realized that was something that I'd been avoiding doing for so long, and that I just had to let it go. I just had to go through that experience. And I had to trick myself into putting myself in that situation and putting myself in a spot that I thought was going to make me this, I'm a tough guy. I got out to Burning Man and I survived. It's like I was going to be that guy. And really my intention was going out there to be this, like, I'm cool. I'm going to show everybody how cool I am. And then I was there. I was just a mess. I was a complete mess, but a beautiful one nonetheless. Number 7, express yourself for the sake of it. Just for the sake of it, right? Stop dimming your light out there, folks. Express yourself for the sake of it. Let us see you. Who are you? Who are you really? Are you even showing who you are to your best friends and your family? Are you really showing who you are to you? When's the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and really knew who was standing in front of you? Right? It's really hard these days to have a clear picture and understanding of who we are, because there's just so many layers of filth and trash and other people and opinions that we put on top of ourselves. We don't even know where we start and where somebody else is, right? How often are we expressing ideas that aren't even ours? They belong to someone else. They're not our truth, right? How often are you ignoring what is really uniquely you? Because if you say it, you might upset somebody. Because if you say it, you might not be included in the club or a part of the group. Because if people find out about it, you're going to be embarrassed. Look, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a real estate professional. And the things that I talk about on these Sunday calls, they get ridiculed. I'll be honest with you. People ridicule me behind my back. I hear about it. I don't care. I truly don't care, because I know that there's people out there who resonate with it, and that I'm attracting the people and I'm resonating and I'm aligning to the people that are more like me, that I'm like them, than the ones that I'm not like, and the ones that are not a part of what I'm trying to accomplish here. And so I'm okay to offend. I'm okay to lose your eyeballs and your attention. I'm absolutely okay to do that, as long as I can hold myself in my fullness, in my wholeness, and I can truly be who I am. I want that for you. I absolutely want that for you. I want you to be you in all aspects of yourself, so that you don't have to hide to your family. You don't have to hide to your peers. You don't have to hide to your friends. You don't have to hide your ambitions in business. That you can truly be all that you are without judged and being kicked out of the tribe. Number 8, we all have our shit. Yep. None of us are meant to be perfect. None of us are. But the reality is your shit, your hard stuff, your trauma, your pain, that's what you're here to go through. The reality is that we keep being shown, we keep being told that we're supposed to be these perfect things. Like when we get into an election cycle, we look at these two candidates, right? And all the candidates are trying to do, if you really look at it, all the candidates are trying to do to each other is show us how imperfect the other person is, right? How flawed and problematic the other person is. That's all that they're trying to do. And they use that as a tool to point to us to say, see how this person's not perfect? That's why they're not fit to have your vote. And we're shown this as the highest office in this country. We're shown this as the highest office in our institutions, that this idea of perfection is supposed to be what we are, when in reality, as human beings, we are absolutely anything but perfect, and our imperfection is our actual purpose. We're here to heal it. We're here to heal the wounded parts. We're here to fix the things in us that we want to fix, and want being the key word there, operative. Because if it's something you enjoy and it's a part of who you are, then it doesn't need to be fixed. If other people don't like it, fuck them. Who cares? Your uniqueness and your realness and your imperfections are what you're here to explore, understand, and love, to make perfect, to make new all the things that you thought were imperfect. Your edges are what make you beautiful. Number 9, leave no trace, because guess what? In 200 years, you won't. You won't. In 200 years, nobody's going to know the name Jamil Damji. 200 years, the actual photographs that I took, I have them. There may be some digital copies of them. And if I do enough in this life, maybe I make it 150 years, maybe 100 years. Somebody knows my name. But in 120 years, someone else is going to be in this house. Someone else is going to be enjoying all of the things that I toiled so hard to create. Someone else will be a custodian of them. So why am I spending so much time focusing on it? When in reality, the only thing that matters is now. Right now. You. Now. Me. Now. That's it. It's the only thing that's real. And this idea of legacy, it's a lie. It's a lie. All I have is what I'm doing right now. I can walk out of this house and get hit by a truck and it's all done. And yeah, you guys will R.I.P. Jamil, R.I.P. Jamil, what a guy, la, 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 for a little bit. And then you'll carry on. And in 10 years, no one will even say my name. So what am I waiting for? What am I saving for? Why am I holding back? Really? It's all now. It's all now. And I can keep putting myself second, and I can keep putting my family third, and I can keep putting all the things that I want to experience on the back burner in this lie that this legacy that I'm trying to create here is meaningful. But it's not. It's really not. What's meaningful is when I'm with my kid and she gives me that look in her eyes like she's really happy. That's meaningful. I got to have breakfast with my mother today. And when I gave her a kiss on her forehead, I smelt her hair. And I still smell it. That moment means something. When I see how she looks at me, when I get to be around my sister and just laugh, and we all got to enjoy eggs together this morning, it was incredibly beautiful. Incredibly beautiful. And we were all present. None of us were scrolling on our phones. We were just there. We were just alive. We were just in each other's energy soup. And nobody cared about what I'm going to leave behind. Nobody cared about how many views I got on a video. Nobody cared about how great I think I am or how many people I've helped. Nobody cared. They just wanted my being, my presence. So, same thing for you. Your family just wants you. I would even go so far as to say you just want you. So really look at the priorities. Really do that. And number 10, there are signs everywhere. If you're looking for a sign, here's your sign. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Your signs are everywhere. You're just not paying attention. You're not. So I challenge you, each of you, to get out today. Take a walk. Take a full deep breath and give gratitude to God and ask to be shown the sign. Open your eyes, lift the scales from your eyes, and look. There are signs everywhere. God is pointing at you in everything you see, everything you hear, everything you smell, and everything you touch is God pointing at you, trying to get your attention, playing one of the most beautiful games of hide and seek ever played. That's it. Thank you guys for tuning in for this hour. This list wasn't exhaustive. I'm sure there's more things that I'll learn, that I'll be able to extract from what I gained and what I was able to see out there. But this was it. These were the top 10 that came from my spirit as I sat and thought about and really tried to integrate the last 3 weeks of my life. I do know this. I love this community so much. I missed you guys. I missed doing these live streams. I missed being around you guys. I missed being a part of your lives. I missed you being a part of mine. And I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for all of you. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to do the things that I do in my world. Thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you so much for loving. Thank you so much for the work that you do with yourselves and your families. You guys are incredible. And I'm just so renewed. I'm so ready to continue rocking it. I'm so ready to continue growing, and I'm so ready to be a part of your lives for more and more time. I'll see you guys next Sunday. God bless you. Bye. Oh, and hit that like button. Why are you guys so stingy with these likes, huh? Hit that like, leave me a comment once I end this stream. Leave a comment. Let other people learn about this stuff too. Don't be so greedy. Peace.